How's it going, guys? It's ZDEyE here. So with the Last of Us Part 2 Remastered launch coming in 3 days on the 19th to be exact, a lot of people got an opportunity already to play it and experience it. Early reviews are up and they're praising this game a lot. It is currently in Metacritic of 91, genuinely is incredible. There's a lot of masterpiece reviews that's going on as well, 10s out of 10s, 9s out of 10s. And yet this game has a lot to offer. But of course there are a few things that I'm definitely noticing that may be a little bit underwhelming in terms of being of a remaster. Now the game itself, being that it's a 10 out of 10, that's not really a surprise. I played it, I loved it, but a lot of people will feel, well, perhaps a little bit differently. I know for a fact that a lot of people hated the story. Some people on purpose never picked this game up because the story was so, well, diverse, if that makes sense, so controversial. And in this case, since this is a remaster, the story is not going to be much of a change. But also, let's get into the specific things what remaster also has. Now, if you will pick up the game, you only need to pay an additional $10 to make this upgrade for The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. I think it's definitely a definite worth it. Like, it's genuinely worth it. At least that's what I think. Now, The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster will feature enhanced graphics, including native 4K output in the fidelity mode. 1440p, by the way, will be upscaled to 4K in the performance mode. An unlocked frame rate option for the TVs, of course, that support the VRR, an increased texture resolution, increased level of detailed distances, improvement of the shadow quality, animation simpling of the rate, and a little bit more. But even though those things sound impressive and good, but after I watched Digital Foundry's video, and they actually have, well, tested this, they weren't exactly, well, what's the word? I can't say underwhelmed, because we should not have expected too much. Nevertheless, it's not a similar graphical leap as we have seen from The Last of Us that has released on PlayStation 3 and then remastered for the PlayStation 4. But nevertheless, it still is a noteworthy improvement for this remaster. But again, just don't have expectations that it's going to be a ginormous graphical leap. Now, even though that's what's to say, the biggest thing I definitely want to say that it has incredible loading times. It's up to like 3 to 4 times improvements, and that gets you into the loading of this game due to the PlayStation 5 powers of the SSD. And I love this, because I remember the time when I was playing this game on my PS4, and man, it took a long time to load into the game. It was quite annoying, but nevertheless, I still, well, appreciated it because I loved the game so much, I didn't really mind it. But now, since the PS5 version of the remaster, you will be able to load up 3 to 4 times faster. It's a nice change for the better. And also, incorporation of the DualSense wireless controller, haptic feedback, and of course the adaptive triggers is actually a very nice welcome change. On top of that, there's a little bit of an extra tidbit of information regarding the accessibility features, that there's actually new additions to it, like speech to vibration. Very interesting. And of course cinematic descriptions. I like the speech to vibration. Every time somebody speaks, you actually feel it in your controller due to the vibration. I'm very curious to test that out for myself. Now, the biggest thing I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to from this remaster, it is the no return mode. You get to play as Joel, Ellie, Abby, and others, and of course you have your own customizability of your own character. Now, I did hear some people say it's a little bit simplistic, being that it's a roguelike experience, but you should not have like similar quality as it was like in Returnal, if you guys remember that game that was released and was very big roguelike experience. This case is a little bit more of a simpler approach towards this mode. And you know what? I'm down for it. Also, it has new and more trophies that you'll have to get for yourself. I actually made a video about that a few days ago. I think it's like an additional 13 trophies. I'm definitely going to be getting this 100%. Another addition, guitar free play. So you can actually use not just a guitar, you can use a trump of the guitar or perhaps a banjo and a steel resonator. It's quite a nice, additions. Play as Joel, you can be playing as Ellie. Perhaps even if you want to go crazy, go into composer Gustavo Santaolalla himself. It's actually quite a nice additions, right? And also you have an option of choosing of your own background imagery whenever you feel like that perhaps the music you're playing, it just would suit that specific mood. Speedrun mode is obviously will be included in here. I'm quite surprised that it really wasn't in the original, the part 2, but still it's a nice welcome addition. Photo mode is going to be making an obvious return, but there's a plus few things like dynamic lighting, frame forward, gaze direction, and new frame and logo options. And yes, of course, you will be able to use this in story mode and in no return mode. Extra things such as hours of new developer commentary accompanying the cinematics from Neil Druckmann, Haley Gross, Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, and Shannon Woodward. And so a nice way to see the behind the scenes how the creation of this game has happened. 3 lost levels that show early development slices of levels that didn't make it into the final game. Now, a lot of people actually have experienced it, and they said you should not expect big things out of it. It's very, very bare bones and simple, like perhaps maybe half an hour and you will be able to go through it all. And, just to see how it works and why it was cut and the reasons is always an interesting approach, and just to see the minds of the developers at that time. And a big one, since they actually even received its own trailer, Grounded 2, making The Last of Us Part 2, actually will be added to The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered in a post-launch update. There's no official release date yet, but I am very, very much looking forward to it because we actually got to see the first Grounded, documentary from The Last of Us, Part 1 I should say, and Part 2 was supposed to get it, but due to the COVID-19, it was, abandoned. But now it's been brought back. I'm definitely looking forward to see what they got in store with this documentary. The game is getting a lot of tens, a lot of praise, and this is very, very good news. I like to see that, again, just like a reason for me to get back into the game and replay it, go for 100% trophies, and just to re-experience it again. It's gonna be a treat. Thank you so much for watching. Do let me know as well. Are you gonna be, getting into this game once again, a remastered version or not? Like and subscribe. See you guys all, and have a wonderful day.